Shalom, shalom. This is your brother, Amanawan Arya, coming to you with another lesson. And first and foremost, I want to start by saying, Kal Halayim La, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Recha HaKodash. All praises to Yahweh, which is the name of the Father in Hebrew, the name of the Son, Yahweh Shai, who's the Son, the Heavenly Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and the Recha HaKodash, which is the name of the Holy Spirit. Okay? Shalom Yasha'Allah. Okay? And this lesson pretty much is going to be in regards to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai bringing back our captivity. Okay? And we'll go into that word, we'll break that down, and we'll see exactly whose salvation is for and whose captivity is going to get turned. Okay? All right? And Lord willing, this lesson will be edifying. First verse I wanted to pull was going to be in Jeremiah 23 and 8. Okay. And it says, we start at verse 7. Matter of fact, we go back up to verse 6. And it says, in his days Judah shall be saved and Israel shall dwell safely. Okay. And if you don't know who Israel is today, the true Israelites today, according to the Bible, it's the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? So when you read the Bible, you put yourself in the place of an Israelite. Okay? Especially if you believe in these words. And it says, and Israel shall dwell safely, and this is his name whereby he shall be called, the Lord of righteousness. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that they shall no more say, Salakia, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Right, because this is what's said. This is the song that was sung by our people when we left our captivity in Egypt. Okay? The Lord which liveth, which brought us out and let the seed out of the house, let the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country. So we were singing our praises in our songs about leaving, Egypt, leaving our bondage. Okay? So it says in verse 8, but the Lord liveth, which brought up and led the seed of the house of Israel, the seed. All right. And when we go to the word seed, it's pretty much talking about this, the race, the nation. All right. The bloodline of the children of Judah, the children of Israel. Okay. And out of the north country. And where is that north country? We're in that north country right now. Okay. And from all the countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their land, okay? Or they shall dwell in their own land, rather, okay? So right now, the scripture is telling you that our people, okay, we're scattered all over the place, amongst all nations, okay? But the main place of our captivity is where? In Babylon, all right? Which is America, all right? And Babylon just simply means, confusion. And this is the place of confusion, where a man can be with a man, a woman can be with a woman, a man could be with a dog, a woman could be with a dog. Bestiality, all type of nonsense, all type of wickedness and abomination takes place in this country alone. Okay? All right? So it's telling you that Israel is going to be put in a place of safety. They're going to be put in their own land, and they shall dwell there safely. Okay? Let's see here, Jeremiah 29 and 14, and we can grab that real quick. And what I'm doing, I'm bringing out verses that show that the Lord is going to turn back the captivity of Israel, because Israel is the nation that went into captivity. We're the ones that were put into bondage, that was made to serve our oppressor. Okay, no other nation was ever in that situation. Okay, so we're in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 14, and it says, I will be found of you, saith Yahweh, and I will turn away your captivity. Now let's look up that word, turn away. Okay. So like I got slow signal up in this area where I'm at now. Hopefully it comes up. Oh no. I'm still trying to decide what it wants to do. Okay. Well, I may not be able to go to that verse, but we can break it down for ourselves here. Okay. So now when it says, Salakia, verse 14, and I will turn away your captivity, right? And I will gather you from all the nations. The Lord is saying he's going to take us out of our captivity, because right now we are in a form of captivity. We're not free. We're still being made to serve our oppressor. We still have to wake up every morning to go to work, punch in and punch out. We still have to pay bills. See, being free, you don't have any bills. Your land is your land, right? Your land you can pass down from generation to generation. Your cattle, your flock, your sheep is your sheep. We're not in that position right now. Okay? We're in a position to where we got to work for other people. All right? We got to slave and we got to build up another person's empire. The same way we did, here in America. When the slaves came off them ships, they were put to work. They were put to work and they helped to build the economy of America. Okay? So don't think for a second that, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and everything, that you're free. And this is why we're hoping for you. We're hoping and we're waiting for Yahweh Shah to come back. Okay? With those thousands of heaven. Because we alone, we can't take out Esau, Edom. We're going to need a higher standard. Like, the Lord is going to have to set a standard for us. Like, we're going to be in a position to where we're going to be running for our lives. We're going to be living on the road, probably, most of us. Why? Because our lives are going to be sought for. Okay? They're going to seek to persecute us. Because we're not conforming to the new society, to the new world. And I'm talking about the elect. Now, you're going to have some people who are not going to take the chip, right? Just because of the stigma that's attached to it, especially these Christians, the 666 mark of the beast. But we know for ourselves that we're not supposed to take that mark, because that's going to be a symbol of us dedicating ourselves to Satan, right? The deceiver in his world. And we're not doing that. All right? Our dedication, our minds, our hearts are towards Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? But the Lord said he's going to turn back our captivity. He's going to take away our lowest state, because right now we're in the lowest state. Okay? We're in the lowest state, and the Lord says he's going to turn that back. He's going to turn that away from us. Okay? Because you got to understand that the position that we're in, we're not supposed to be in. We were never supposed to be in this position, but we went off. Salakia. I'm just trying to find that passage where it talks about the princes riding on horses, right? The servants riding horses and the princes walking. Because at the end of the day, like I said, we weren't supposed to be in this position of servitude. And even if when we did go off, we weren't supposed to be abused by Esau, Edom, the way we were abused. Okay? Servants riding, princes walking. Let's see if that comes up with something. No, don't worry about it. Salaki, y'all. By the end of the day, like I said, we're not supposed to be in this position where we're made to serve such hard bondage. Okay, we're supposed to do our time, and get back into our position, go back to our homeland, rebuild like we've done in the past. Okay. But because of our disobedience, the Lord put us in the lowest state. All right? All right, the next passage I wanted to go to is going to be in, let's see here, Jeremiah 30. We can go to Jeremiah 46:27. Okay? So like here. Look at Jeremiah 46, starting at verse 27. It says, "But fear not thou, O my servant Jacob, and be not dismayed, O Israel. For behold, I will save thee from afar off. Now, is he talking about any other nation besides Israel? Is he mentioning the Ammonites? Is he mentioning the Moabites? Is he mentioning the Elamites? Is he mentioning any of the Hamitic tribes, the Cushites, the Ethiopians? No, he's talking about the nation of Israel. This book is only for the nation of Israel. You other nations cannot decipher this unless you have somebody breaking it down for you. Okay? This truth is not for you. All right? So ultimately, he says, for behold, I will save thee from afar off. And why is he saying he's going to save us from afar off? Because when you think about it, we're Israelites. We belong in Israel, in Jerusalem. Our homeland is way on the east side of the world. We're here in the north country. Okay? So the Lord said, saying what? He shall save thee. He said, I will save thee from afar off, and thy seed from their land of captivity. Right? The place where they're made to serve as bondmen and bondwomen. And Jacob shall return and be in rest and at ease, and none shall make him afraid. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, saith Yahweh, for I am with thee. I will make a full end of all nations, whither I have driven thee. But I will not make a full end of thee, but correct thee in measure, yet will I not leave thee wholly unpunished. Okay? Hello? Salakia. All right, so he says, fear not, O Jacob, my servant, saith Yahweh, for I am with thee. For I will make a full end of all the nations, whither I have driven thee, but I will not make a full end of thee, but correct thee in measure. Meaning what? The Lord is going to, when we go off, the Lord is going to go ahead. He's going to bring us back through his correction. Okay? And he says what? Yet will I not leave thee wholly unpunished. So at the end of the day, the Lord is here to have the side of Yasha Allah. He's here to protect Yasha Allah for the ones who believe. Okay? Now, granted, all of the nation of Israel is going to be saved with the everlasting salvation, right? We're all going to be saved eventually, but there's going to be two parts to this thing, man. There's going to be the first gathering, and then there's going to be the second gathering. All right? Or the second resurrection. Okay? Because the ones who don't make it on this side, the 2/3, according to Zechariah 13 and 8, the 2/3 who don't make it on this side, guess what? They got to come back to the seeds of the elect. The ones who did make it. The ones who were concerned about the Most High's business, their father's business. The men who were concerned about their father's business. Right? And this is why we do the work, because we're hoping to be, you know, a part of the elect. We do the work because we want to make our calling and election sure. Okay? But the Lord is going to turn back the captivity of Israel, not the captivity of the Jewish people, because those people have never been in captivity. You want to talk about what went on in Auschwitz in Germany? That has nothing, you cannot compare that to the bondage that we've been through in this country for 400 and some odd years. And then before then, okay? This book is talking about the nation of Israel. This book is talking about us. And no other book can meet her. Okay? Because at the end of the day, the ones who do last, the ones who do make it, the Lord, we're going to get fame in those days. We're going to be famous in those days, believe it or not. Okay? But it's that famous for the ones who endure to the end. Okay? And Zechariah, I'm looking for Zephaniah. The book of Zephaniah 3:19. It says, behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out. And who is it? Who is the her that halteth, and who is the her that was driven out? It's talking about Jerusalem, Yasha Allah, right? The prince of the powers. But the Lord said he likens, Jerusalem to a comely woman. Okay? And we were driven out of Jerusalem. It says, I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. Why are we going to get this fame? And why are these people going to be put to shame? Because the Lord is going to lift us up. The Lord is going to, allow us to manifest things in the sights of these people. When we get into the kingdom, stories are going to be told about us and what we did when we're going out in the highways and byways. When we're doing the video epistles, talking about our experiences, talking about, the lessons, what we went through. That's how you're going to get that fame. He says, I behold, at that time, I will undo all that afflicting. What do you mean undo? Like, he's going to come, like, mess their heads up. How the hell are these people, the children of the Most High? The hell? These dudes they used to smoke weed and rape and all this other stuff, right? These black niggers, or these so-called niggers. Now, I'm not saying all of Israel is going to be black, right? Because we do have the speckled birds that exist, the ones that look like the other nations because they've been a part of those other nations but are really Israelites, yeah. But best believe they're being called bywords and proverbs as well. And then again, you have people who are so-called Edomites, who look like Edomites, but they associate themselves with being so-called Negroes or blacks because of their father's bloodline. Their father's father. You have Edomites that, their bloodline, their spirit, right? The spirit of their fathers within them. So you got a lot of Edomites like what? Tom Brady. Okay. You have people like who else can I say? Patrick Mahomes, what's that dude that played that basketball for the them golden people? I don't watch sports much. What is his name? Stephon Curry. They don't look like they don't look like Joe Shaft, but these are Israelites. Okay? So it's not about it's not a color thing, it's a spiritual thing. Our spirit beareth witness. That's a lot good. All right, Romans 8:16, it says, the spirit beareth witness with our spirit, right? The spirit of the Most High beareth witness with our spirit, that we are the children of God. And if children, then heirs of God, and joint heirs with Hamashiach. And if so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. Okay? So at the end of the day, it's a spiritual thing. It's not a flesh or a carnal thing. You understand? All right? Let me see what else I got on the list here. Let me see if I can find it. Joel 3:1. Joel 3:1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Yahweh-Shaphat, and will plead with them there for my people. And who is he going to plead with? He's going to plead with all these other nations, these superpower nations. And he's going to plead. And what does it mean? He's going to beg them, oh, no, you guys. No, the Lord's going to come plead with fire and destruction. According to 2 Nebuchadnezzar 13, these people, when they go down into the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat, they're going to be turned to dust. Nothing was to be perceived but dust and smoke. Okay? But I don't want to make this lesson long, man. I just really wanted to put that point out there. That's the salvation is only for Yasha'Allah. The salvation is only for Israel, right? Because Israel was the only nation serving captivity amongst all these other nations. Yeah, you do have some of these heathen nations, being under the control of Esau, Edom, because Esau, Edom is controlling the world, right? Because in Job 9:24 it says that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay, and the wicked, we know, according to Malachi 1:4, is Esau, Edom. Okay, and these other nations do have their issues with Esau, Edom as well. All right, but we were the nation. Israel was the nation that was made servant to these nations. Okay, these nations, they benefited off our work for hundreds of years. Okay, and the Lord is saying, I'm going to bring that captivity back, and I'm going to put it on the other nations. All right, and I'm going to give you everlasting salvation. You're going to rest in peace. You're going to be happy. Jeremiah 30:18. Let me see if I can grab that real quick. Jeremiah 30:18. It says, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents and have mercy on his dwelling places. And the city shall be built upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving and the voice of them that make merry. And I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Right? Meaning what? We're going to be having children in the kingdom of heaven. Okay? And is this happening now? I mean, look at Israel, right? Are those people dwelling safely in their tents? You understand? Are they increasing in number with children? No, man. If you look at the birth rate of the so-called white man, that thing is going down, down, down. All right? But once again, salvation is for Israel. The Lord came to give salvation unto Israel only. Okay? Because when you look in Israel, we know that they're not the children of Israel. Why? Because they eat pork. They have the little slut walks, the gay pride walks, so on and so forth. They practice that Judaism. Okay? So the Lord didn't come for those people. Those are not the real people of the scriptures. All right? But with that, I want to say all praises to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah. Hopefully this lesson was edifying. Okay? The Lord is going to put us back in our own land. He's going to make us dwell safely. All right? With that, I want to say Shalom and Baba Bo.